Today I'm going to separate water from red food coloring using simple distillation. Remember that simple distillation is a separation technique where the component with a lower boiling point is boiled and condensed. In this mixture, the water has a lower boiling point than the food coloring, so it will be the component that boils off first and is condensed and collected. Let's run through the parts of the simple distillation apparatus. You can heat the mixture using a Bunsen burner. Here I'm using a propane burner. This is a round bottom flask. It holds the mixture. So this is the red food coloring and water. Here we have the distillation head. It connects the flask to the condenser and the thermometer. Here's the thermometer at the top. We can use this to measure the temperature of the vapor that's produced. And we have an adapter so that the thermometer fits into the distillation head. This is called a Liebig condenser. It's a glass tube that runs through, and it's surrounded by a glass jacket that allows cold water to run continuously in through this nozzle and then out through this nozzle at the top. It's important that water comes in from the bottom so it completely fills the whole jacket with cold water. If we had the water coming in through this nozzle, it would just fall to the bottom of the Liebig condenser jacket, run along the bottom, and then come out of this nozzle without completely filling the whole jacket. So only the bottom part of the condenser would be cold, and the top would be warmer. And we want to increase the rate of condensation by making the whole jacket cold. So if I turn the tap on, you'll start to see water entering through the bottom and filling the whole jacket and then exiting through the top. Then it comes out through this rubber tubing into the sink. At the end of the Liebig condenser, we have the receiver adapter. This directs the condensate down into the beaker, and the beaker receives the distillate. And then I've used two clamp stands with clamps to hold the glassware in place. Okay, let's start running the simple distillation apparatus. So I'm going to turn the water on. So it's running through the condenser jacket, and I'm going to turn the Bunsen burner on, and we're going to wait until the solution starts boiling. So now the water in the mixture is boiling and turning into a gas. The water vapor is rising up into the distillation head, and we can use the thermometer here to monitor the temperature. And we want the temperature to be around 100 degrees Celsius because this is the boiling point of water. If it goes over 100 degrees Celsius, we know that the water has boiled off and we need to stop the simple distillation, or else we might start boiling the red food coloring. So that water vapor is then going to travel into the condenser, where it's going to condense from a gas back into a liquid, and you can see that happening here. Droplets of liquid water are forming. Because the condenser is at a slope, gravity is going to cause the droplets of water to travel down the condenser tube, and then the water is going to drip into the beaker where it's collected. And we can tell that this doesn't have food coloring in it because it's colorless. Whereas if we look at the original mixture, it's red. So the food coloring that's left behind, we call it the residue. If we wanted to increase the rate of condensation in the condenser, we could decrease the temperature of the water running through. So we could use colder water, and this would cause the condensation to happen at a quicker rate.